Hello friends and welcome to another video. I have been so excited about filming this video for a bit now, and it's taken me a little while to sit down and actually film this. So today we're gonna do a prep Q&A, and I just wanted to make sure that I was far enough in, I guess, to be able to give you guys like my honest feedback and have stuff to talk about. But basically I just asked on my Instagram for you guys to ask me anything and everything that you wanted to about my prep. And the purpose of this is really just like, I haven't shared a ton. I've definitely shared more on YouTube in terms of like what I eat and some physique updates and stuff like that. But I really haven't shared as much as, like, even close to as much as I did my last prep. And I know I've, like, said this before, but it really is just, like, a personal choice for me, this prep, to, like, not share a ton. And I think it's helped me a lot mentally, just with, you know, maintaining my sanity, my balance, my identity outside of this sport. But I'm just going to get through as many questions as I can. And, yeah. Have I shared what my show is? No, I've not. I've kept that to myself, and I've actually really liked it because I don't feel the pressure of like, oh, I'm like 8 weeks out. Do I look 8 weeks out? Do people think I look 8 weeks out, right? Like, I just kind of go with the flow. So I haven't shared my show date. Obviously, with quarantine, a lot of shows have been canceled. Mine was announced that it's still on, but quarantine just got extended. So we're gonna have to figure that out. I'm not sure if it still will be. But no, I've not shared when my show is, and probably won't until maybe I'm like a week out or something, because peak week. Explain what prep is for the newbies. This is a good one, right off the bat. So prep is preparing for a bodybuilding competition. So there are a lot of different divisions within bodybuilding, and I'm not going to get into that, but I'm a bikini competitor, so I compete in the bikini division, and basically it is, you know, on the shortest end like 8 weeks, on the longest end like 30 plus weeks of getting your body ready for a bodybuilding show. And prep usually is when you are dieting down, right? So I spent a good, between my last prep and this prep, I spent a good 1.5 years plus focusing on growing, right? So like bulking, building muscle. And then prep is when I'm cutting body fat. And I got another question right here that asked if like prep and just like cutting or dieting are the same. And I mean, in some ways, yes. Like in both scenarios, you are dieting, cutting, focusing on losing body fat, as much muscle as possible. You do that through being in a calorie deficit, you know, with diet and cardio. But prep is going to be to a much larger extreme, just because you have to get your body extremely lean, and to a level of leanness that's definitely not sustainable long term, right? So you're going to have to push a lot harder. It's going to be a lot more strict, more rigid, right? Because you're getting ready for a show versus, you know, in my opinion, if I'm doing a lifestyle cut, I'm still gonna really focus on having that like balance and living my life. Whereas prep, it's like I am hyper focused on the goal of bringing my best to the stage when I get on there. Next, do you ever worry about hanging on to disordered eating habits after prep? So no, but I think in large part because I'm hyper aware. Like, one, a long ass time ago now, but like I struggled with an eating disorder, right? So I think I always have in the back of my mind of like, I'm not letting that shit come back. You know, during prep, I'm already kind of like preparing for after prep and making sure that I'm in a really good mental place after prep. Just like being realistic about like, yo, I'm gonna eat more, I'm gonna gain weight, you know, just kind of knowing what to expect. So one, I feel like this prep, I don't really have any like disordered eating habits, maybe besides like, I really can't think of many disordered eating habits I have, but maybe besides using my small spoon, also just like, if you make that a goal, like I'm not gonna hold on to my, like these eating habits, then you make sure you make that happen, you feel? Next one is, how is your body image? So I think mine's pretty good. You know, whether you're growing or cutting, and I think this is something everyone needs to hear, you're gonna have bad body image days. And I think a lot of people prep or diet and they expect to just like all their like body image, like insecurities, whatever, to be gone. And that's just not the case. Like I still have bad body image days. I know that I'm getting very, very lean. I know I'm very lean. And so like, you know, my bad body image days are more like I need more muscle here, I need to be leaner here, whatever, throughout prep. So I really focus on pulling myself out of like just focusing on that. Like for me, that's kind of always been my stance with body image, is just like I just focus my energy on other things. But yeah. Simple versus complex carbs. Do you incorporate both throughout the day, and when/why? So yes, I guess I have simple and complex carbs, mostly simple carbs. So like I'm on a meal plan right now and I got a lot of questions about that. But just for like ease of digestion and nutrient absorption. So like simple carbs are going to be just, you know, shuttled and utilized much more rapidly than complex carbs. But I do have oats in the morning. And obviously that's like the furthest away from my workout, keeps me satiated. I'm able to focus a lot throughout the morning. But then always around my workouts, it's simple carbs, and really throughout most of my day, it's simple carbs. So yeah. What are your competition goals? National show, pro card. I want my freaking pro card. And I am a firm believer that, you know, the universe has its plan. So like if that were to happen this season, fucking dope. I've been putting in the work to make that happen. But my plan as of right now is to keep going until I get it. This season I definitely want to get on a national stage, and I am not going to settle for less. Favorite thing about this prep. I think favorite thing about like this prep in particular, has been just like all the challenges that have come with it. Like in particular this quarantine. Also my prep started off just like so slow. Like I literally was like, my body might not be responsive. And so I think overcoming all those challenges has been really, really cool. But just as like an overall positive, I've just had so much going on with, you know, launching a new business, with taking care of my clients, with my relationships, and really, really focusing on maintaining those other parts of my life. Hardest part about prep, honestly, like your energy is just very limited, especially when you're on low food. And I will say not talking about it a ton has actually helped, because it's like I can't just like not show up and be like, oh, like it's just because of prep, you know? Whereas I feel like if you're showing everything, you can be like, yeah dude, like I'm on like very, very low carb, I'm not eating much food, I'm doing a shit ton of cardio, and people kind of like get it. And this is just in my head, but I like refuse to do that. But your energy is very limited, right? So that, and like you're doing a lot of cardio, you're eating very, very little food. And for me, like I'm great at time management, I can figure it out, I get shit done. But just feeling like every little thing is so much harder, that is the hardest part for me. What's it like for you at this point being so lean? Is it impacting your menstruation at all? So I'm definitely like, I am very lean, and I'm not gonna pretend that I'm not. And I actually should have gotten my period this week. It still could come, but have not gotten it. I've had all the PMS symptoms, which we love, but no period. And I will say this is around when I lost it last prep. Like I'm someone who, like my period stays around for a long time, but it's really hard for me to get it back. And that's obviously like my first priority when I finish competing. I got asked a bunch about my period, and it honestly, like I don't ever want to be like, yeah, it's like it's okay to lose your period, because like it's an indicator that your body is not in a place where it feels safe, right? Like it does not feel safe enough to bear a child. But it is very, very common with competitors, again, because you're at a very unsustainable level of body fat for a very short period of time. Okay, would I plan on taking my season all the way through Miami? which Miami is like the last national show, so the last show that you can get your pro card at, for those of you guys who don't know. And definitely not without a very long break. And I think that that's the hard thing too about this quarantine, is a lot of shows are pushed back. So like all the national shows are like August through like November now, whereas usually they're like June through November, right? So some people will compete all the way through that. And I definitely would not just like continue prepping and stay this lean through November, just because that is not, like, I care about my health too much to do that. Mental and physical. I know for me it wouldn't be mentally good for me to do that either. Just because like I have life to live, right? Like I try not to get too ahead of myself and like stress about the future. I definitely will not go all the way through Miami though, like hell no. More cardio this prep or last? I got asked this question a lot. Last prep I did more cardio. I also got asked if my food was lower this prep or last prep, and obviously I'm on a meal plan this prep. Last prep I tracked macros, but my food has also been higher. But you also have to remember, last prep I had more weight to lose. Number one, I had less muscle, was number two, and my prep was shorter. So I had to be much more drastic, and obviously just like different coaches do things different ways, but my food had to get lower by last prep and my cardio was higher. What did I do for cardio before I had my spin bike? So now I do have a spin bike in our office. Before that I have double cardio. Right now I do cardio fasted in the morning and I do cardio at night. And before I was running in the morning and then going on a power walk in the afternoon. My body, it was just really, really hard for me to recover from, honestly. So we had to stop that, which is why I got the spin bike. Have I had trouble sleeping during this prep? Honestly, no. If anything, I just sleep so hard. Like I go to bed and I'm like, pfft. But actually I guess there've been a couple nights where I've just been really, really hungry. But it hasn't really been an issue. I know for a lot of people it is. How much do you weigh? Not gonna share that. But I will say I'm 17 pounds down from where I started prep. It's craving. I honestly haven't been craving that much. I'll say the two big things that I crave are, one, pancakes. I just want a fat stack of pancakes. And a glass of wine, which I know that sounds weird, but yeah. And honestly, the biggest thing is just having like the freedom, because right, like I've been literally eating the same meals with like different quantities of food since I started prep. And it's not that I like have urges to binge or anything like that. I'm kind of just like hyper focused and just eat what I know. Like if you asked me what I wanted to eat, I'd be like, I don't know. Like genuinely. And that's just kind of like the competitor. Like I'm very good at detaching myself from negative emotions, from how I feel physically. It's a blessing and a curse. From being tired, from being hungry. I'm like, have I been hungry this prep? Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Like I'm really good at numbing that stuff out, which is not a great thing. But anyway, super ranty. I really just want to like be able to go to dinner with my friends. Like they can pick where, I don't give a shit. I just want to go be with them. I want to have some freedom. That's what I'm craving. What's my favorite meal? So on my meal plan, my favorite meal right now, actually always, guys, my favorite meal, I was gonna say cream of rice, but I think it's my oats in the morning, because then I have my like egg whites and my whole egg on the side, and then I have another whole egg on it, and I just love my whole eggs. So yeah, that's that. What were some things you did differently to improve your physique? Well, I think, I don't know, I'm just gonna say like I took a long time to build muscle. Prioritizing my nutrition, like pre and post workout, prioritizing carbs, utilizing intra workout carbs as long as I could. I think that really, really helped, just because it helped me recover from my training and it helped me get strong as fuck, which was like the coolest part of my off season, and I think that helped a lot. And then in prep, I think really focusing on stress. Like I've done so much mindset work, and it's crazy how much stress impacts progress. And really during prep, just focusing on keeping strength up. Obviously it's hard during quarantine, but really focusing on that has helped a lot. Pros and cons of prepping during quarantine. Love this one. Pros, I think, have been just, it is easy to like focus on prep. Like there's not as much other stuff going on, if that makes sense. Like I'm not just like sitting at dinner with friends, not eating. And I guess for me, like that doesn't really bother me, but like feeling like I have to fit that in on top of doing my 2 rounds of cardio, on top of training, on top of prepping my food, whatever. So it's just been easier to like focus just on that. The cons have definitely been just like figuring everything out around it, right? Like how am I gonna change my cardio? How can I train in a way that's gonna help me keep around muscle as much as possible? How long was your bulk and how long will you have been in a deficit? My bulk was the end of 2019. So my bulk off season, and I did take time to intuitively eat. Obviously a piece of an off season is just reverse dieting, so you're not actually like bulking and like gaining a ton of weight. But that in total was like a year and a half, I think. And then prep, to be determined. Do I think taking a long off season helped or hindered my progress this prep? Helped. Would I coach clients to get them to a point of starting their first prep? So yeah, I've done this with multiple clients, and it's really cool. Just so really just like helping them build muscle, get their metabolism to a good spot, make sure their hormones are in a good spot. And then I hand them off to a coach who I recommend, and I can give them all of their info just as far as like, you know, how their body responds to things and whatnot. So that's been really cool, but I don't coach people through prep. To maintain a muscular physique after a show from all the muscle gained. So I think this is a big misconception. Like even people now will be like, oh my God, you've gained so much muscle this prep. And I'm like, no, if anything, I probably lost it. When you're prepping for a show, chances are you're not building muscle, right? Your body is in a calorie deficit, but you're gonna see more muscle because I'm losing the fat that I gained with the muscle in my off season, right? So yeah. How many more shows do you think you'll do? I don't know. Like I honestly just go with my gut on this stuff. Like I'm just going with the flow, right? Like I have big goals and I plan on reaching them, obviously with being as healthy and like healthy as I can and like not being a freaking idiot, but yeah, I just go with my intuition on that stuff. How am I feeling like for real? So I haven't really updated YouTube, but this is, yeah, I'm going on like almost my second, like it'll almost have been 2 full weeks of increased food. So we basically like reversed dieted me, so slowly increased my carbs, like more than double the amount of carbs I was eating a couple of weeks ago. So I feel really good the past couple weeks. There's been a lot of times during prep where I had really bad prep brain. Like I was just very forgetful. I was really tired. It was hard to get through the day. So yeah, and I think I've showed that in a couple of my YouTube videos. Like I try to like just be real about where I'm at, but the past couple of weeks I felt a lot better. Now what I will say, and I actually just talked about this on my Instagram story, is just being this lean, no matter how much you're eating, you're not gonna feel great, right? Like I'm cold. I get tired still easily, even eating a good amount of carbs. So, you know, I think that is just a piece of it, right? Like just being lean doesn't always feel the greatest. My body's just like very sensitive to little things. So, you know, that's just the reality of prep and of being lean. And have I had any diabetes issues that involve needing candy or anything on prep? So yes, I have had, I think there was twice where I woke up in the middle of the night, my body wake me up. One time my Dexcom went off and I was low, so I did just have candy, and it's honestly like then I just pick up the next day and treat it like normal because I'm on a meal plan. Like I can't like track that into my macros or something. So I'm just like, yo, Will, who's my coach, sorry, I was low, you know, and it's not that big of a deal. Like 15, 20 extra carbs on one day isn't gonna make or break a prep, but yes, I have had to, and again, my health always comes first. I'm not trying to like die for the sake of getting on stage. How do you keep yourself from getting obsessed with the idea of staying this small? I started prep telling myself I was gonna get shredded for the stage, and I was not gonna stay that small. I don't let myself get away from that. Like I'm telling myself now I'm mentally preparing for gaining weight after I get on stage. Like I'm already mentally preparing for that because I know it was hard after my last show day, but I went into competing knowing that that was going to be hard, so I was prepared to go through the hard because I'm not making any excuses for myself, and I'm telling you guys I'm going to gain weight. So I got a lot of questions about following a meal plan versus tracking macros. So do I like it better? Pros and cons. Which do I prefer? So honestly, for prep, I actually, and for me, this is not for everyone. For me, I like being on a meal plan. And I think I've kind of gotten at the fact that like, I don't think about food. Like for me, when I'm prepping, like I'm just doing what I need to do. Like I don't attach emotion to where my food is at. I don't attach emotion to what I'm eating. I don't attach emotion to how much cardio. It's like a job. Like I just get it done. And a meal plan makes it really, really easy to do that, right? I'm not plugging things into my fitness pal. I'm not thinking about like what I want, what can I fit. I just do, right? So that is definitely like, it works for me. Now, after I compete, even when I'm reversing, I'm not fucking following a meal plan. I will tell you that because I want to live my life. I'm not living my life bringing my Tupperware everywhere. I like food. I like spending time with my friends. For me, having a good relationship with food is really, really important. So, you know, that's that. And if you are someone who like you're a big foodie or like you really, really give into cravings, and that's like an issue for you, tracking macros might be easier during a prep because you're not eating the same thing every day. Whereas like I'm someone, like I said, I can like just flip that switch. So I'd say it's also like just helped digestion. Honestly, just like keeping foods very, very consistent. It helps a lot just like nailing down other variables that could be like throwing things off. Like it's not like, oh, like my weight's up because like my digestion was super off because I ate something different, or like, am I eating something that's kind of like messing with my digestion or that isn't sitting well in my body and that's making me inflamed? Like it's really, really easy to like figure out those trends. It has just like improved my digestion overall, for sure. And like I said, it's just made things really, really easy. Those are what I would say has been like the main things. Oh, also just like not being as hyper aware of like, oh my gosh, like my food is so low, right? Like I could easily go into my fitness pal and track it and like I know when my food is low. Like I have diabetes, I like know the amount of like carbs and everything, like, you know, but not being so hyper focused on has actually helped. Now cons, I will say, like, yeah, not being able to be like, oh, I have a craving, like I'm gonna feel it. Like no, too freaking bad, right? Also just being that a lot of it is like simple carbs or like a protein isolate instead of like a whey casing blender, a concentrate. You know, like a lot of stuff is just very fast digesting, so I definitely get hungry. And I think the other thing kind of digestion related is I know, and I already am preparing myself for this, implementing new foods is gonna be really freaking hard. Not mentally, I don't think for me, but like I think that could be an issue for a lot of people. But for me, like after like a long ass time of eating the same things every single day, I know it's gonna be hard for my body to like metabolize other foods, and that's something I'm just gonna have to like suck it up and let my body get used to it again after a show. But that's definitely something that's hard. And then like I said, I think that mental aspect is really, really important, and that's something I am just being hyper aware of for myself, is not letting myself be like scared of eating other foods after I compete, right? because I think it's really easy to be like, I just ate the same stuff all the time and these other foods are like bad, which they're not. But that's been like another thing that I am aware of, and I think it'd be hard for a lot of people. But for me, I think it's mostly been like some days I just like want to be able to have like a sweet potato instead of rice, or I really want my caramel rice cakes instead of having my cream of rice, like little things like that. What color suit am I wearing? Same suit. I did just order my suit yesterday. I'm not gonna tell you guys what color yet because I haven't even seen it, but I will show you guys. I'm really excited. It's from Toxic Angel Bikinis. Dealing with weight plateaus, it's gonna be different for everyone and every time, right? So for me, a lot of times it's lower food, increased cardio, but sometimes you'll hit a plateau because you need a refeed, right? Or for me, a big one because my body gets really stressed from, like just inflamed from training. Like my body gets stressed very easily. So for me, sometimes it's like as simple as taking a rest day, honestly, but it's going to be different depending on the person, depending on the time. So that was a lot of questions. This is 31 minutes. So I'm going to end this here, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. I can't wait to keep sharing my prep with you guys, regardless of how it turns out, if my show happens when it's supposed to or not. I'm honestly just having a lot of fun with this prep, and that's what I was actually talking to my coach about last night, is I was like, I'm like still having fun with it, and I think that's the biggest thing. And you know, part of me is like, I'm sorry for not sharing more, but I'm also not sorry because I think it's been really, really mentally healthy for me. But I will continue to share. I'll continue doing full days of eating. Obviously, let me know if there's any videos that you guys want to see. Your wish is my command. Thank you so much for following along, for being understanding, for being patient with me. Comment, share, like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.